Oh.
Right, so I'm watching the stream online as well, and I can hear audio.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear yourself when you talk?
I can hear myself on the stream, and it's very strange.
Yes. You might have to mute yourself on the actual stream. Oh, you've gone.
Yeah, I've muted the stream now because I don't want. I can already hear you and me. I don't need the stream to replace me. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay. To the people in the stream, all three of you, can you hear us all right? Are you Bavazi?
I am just no name.
No name. Okay. You can hear us all right. Okay, we're fine then. So there are a few people in. Okay, excellent stuff. Right. So it's really weird seeing myself with the delay. Okay, so what we'll do is, because this is the first time I've done it for a while, so we have the wonderful Helen, or Beaky, as she is commonly known. Probably only to me, actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
We've known each other now for 3 years? 4 years?
Four. I think 4.
4 years.
And
Yeah, and I haven't done these for a little while now, so we've got I'm basically a bit rubbish at these again. So what we'll do is I'll go through, we'll go see if we get any questions from people and stuff like that. If anyone gets any questions in chat, they can obviously ask, and we'll pretty much just stop what we're doing and answer the questions, and then we'll go on from there. So as I said, this isn't going to be too stressful. We'll take it nice and easy, nice and slow, and then we'll go on from there. Okay, so first of all, then, nice and easy, when did you start role-playing?
I think ever since I was young, whenever I used to play games in the playground, they were always like big, crazy characters. And then I started doing proper role-playing or fantasy kind of stuff when I started doing Vampire Masquerade role-play. Oh god. I must have been 19. I'm 26, going on 27 now, so that many years ago.
Quick maths.
Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks. Yeah. I've been doing roleplay properly since then, but it's always been a part of my life in some shape or form.
Yeah. Okay. So, what or who got you into LARP, or roleplay, I should say?
So, my friend Toby, which you might know, he used to, I've known him since high school, so a very long time, and I was living in quite a bit of a lonely situation. I didn't have many friends, but he reached out and was like, "Oh, hey, do you want to hang out with my friends? Every week we meet up and do Vampire. I think you'd be interested in it." And after attending the first game, I was like, "Yeah, no, I like this. I love this. I want to do this."
So Vampire was the very first thing you did, tabletop-wise and LARP-wise, then?
So yeah, both of those I did first. Oh wait, no, I didn't do my Vampire LARP first. It's just Vampire tabletop I did first.
Yeah.
And then I did Empire, I think that's at the beginning. And then I did intermittently some Vampire LARP as well.
Have you heard what they're calling Empire players that have been there since the beginning now?
No.
We're E1ers. It's like boomers, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. It was
You'll be able to tell it if someone's from E1 or not, because they'll always say, "Oh, it's not as bad as the cold from E1."
yeah. Oh, it was minus 38, 26 maybe 20. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, so it was. I found that one out at the Southampton Portsmouth fighting thing that got set up, and they were saying to me, "Yeah, you're an E1er." So explains the hatred I feel. So okay, so what is the best tabletop roleplay game you have ever played? Because I'm assuming you've moved on from Vampire. Well, you still probably play Vampire a little bit when you can, and you've played others as well now, haven't you? And things. So, what is the best tabletop roleplay game you've ever played?
Oh, so I really enjoy most of the World of Darkness games.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Dark Ages.
Yep.
The Vampire Dark Ages, that was really good. But I think my favourite actually has to be a werewolf game my friend AJ ran. And it wasn't just the good GMing, it was also just werewolf in general. Just the deep spirituality to it, and just my character was Theurge, Wendigo, and she was just crazy, and she was fantastic, and I still love her, and yeah, things like that, things that really stick out into my mind are things like that.
Oh yeah, Theurge, Wendigo. They do. Do you find that you tend to play the same sort of, I suppose, dynamic through a lot of your characters? That spiritual, magical, mystical side.
Not really. I think that's why I enjoyed that one so much, because I really went for it, and that's something that away from roleplay, I have a bit of spirituality anyway, so I don't really bring it into roleplay. Like, I usually use roleplay to do things that in my real life I'm just not. So I'm usually like a really confident character, or really, really boisterous, or very aggressive. I can do that in characters sometimes. But I'm very seldom like a calm, collected, thoughtful character that really thinks all their processes through of like, oh, I need to do this step and this step and then this step.
Yeah.
I like most of my LARP characters have never thought of their consequences before, but this character definitely did.
Okay. So what drew you to being a Wendigo then?
I think it was a combination of understanding a bit already about the historical background from where it relates to in real life spirituality and beliefs, and being so a real life Wendigo. I kind of heard I heard of them already, so I was like, I'll have a bit of knowledge of this. It might be easier for me to go in with this. And then after reading a bit more of the player's guide, I was like, oh no, I'm in love. I love the idea of just really caring for the art and doing it that way. So obviously werewolf was always going to speak out to me. And then the added layer of Wendigo always being a bit like, it just feels a bit darker, and that suits me.
Wendigo has that image, doesn't he? I suppose is that the frozen, nasty piece of work. Like he hunted people in the woods, in the forest, and that, didn't he? So
generally speaking, Wendigo is a spiritual creature who arrives when either you've committed an act of cannibalism, or when you crave like flesh of another person. It's meant to deter you from committing cannibalism, even in exceptional circumstances. So, like if you're deserted in the middle of icy wasteland, and you and two other people are alive, even if one of them's dead and you eat them, Wendigo will come and get you because that's wrong and it's not good for you. So that's like where he comes from, really.
Nice. I do like the Wendigo, and as a werewolf player as well. because we have, I think, similar sort of backgrounds when it came to tabletop LARP, and then moving on into stuff like that. So it was very vampire, werewolf, and then Empire and that. So for me, it was. So what first clan did you play at Vampire then?
I was a Toreador in the Dark Ages.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And yeah, so I have to admit, I did think you were going to go Tremere.
I don't like Tremere at all.
Ah, okay, excellent.
I have a hate for them because deep down I'm a Salubri, and they ate my dad.
Very true. Very, very true. See, yeah, I think that's quite worrying then, because I think deep down for me, I'm definitely a Giovanni. See, I like the Giovanni a lot, but then I was with Werewolf. It's strange because I'm definitely a Red Talon or a Bone Gnawer. So I'm that sort of area when it comes to it. So that's really good. Okay, so with regards to tabletop roleplay, then, what games out there or game out there is it that you look at and you think, I really, really want to play that?
So I haven't actually played the latest edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and I only got to play in a 3.5 edition a long time ago, and not for very long. I didn't even get to have a proper full campaign, and I've been itching to play a proper D&D campaign for a long time.
Yeah.
But obviously I think that's quite obviously a very, very long one. I think I'd also like to... I've done quite a few, I'm just thinking of ones that I'm aware of now. I really want someone to run a Geist. So in the New World of Darkness, not the most current one, but New World, they did a section just Geists.
Okay.
I'd love to be a Geist for a day, because the art in that book is fantastic, and also just the depth you can have behind a character is amazing, and I'd really love to jump into that.
Ghost, I don't know that. I'll have to look into those then. Have a look at it.
I highly suggest it. It looks very... It looks good for most players, even people that aren't that deep into roleplay. You don't have to go that far with it, because obviously you're a person, so there's it's a bit more delicate going into the fantasy world, I think, as opposed to being a vampire.
Yes, yeah. Okay. So, the same sort of question then. So, when it comes to LARP, are there any LARPs out there, worldwide, that you really wanted to give those ones a go?
I have always wanted to do a Mad Max post-apocalyptic kind of thing.
Okay.
I've loved Mad Max ever since I was young, and I really want to get involved.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Really energetic and crazy, and I'd love to be just a crazy person, running around, just shooting shit. That'd be great. I think so. I would like to get back into doing a vampire LARP, because I know vampire best, and I think I would enjoy getting back into it. But we'll see.
Yes.
And also I think there's a fantastic role-player fantasy in Germany that I've always heard about.
Convention of Thorns.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, it's actually gone bust. Yeah. 2 years ago, it turns out.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I was absolutely broken-hearted, because I'd actually put some things aside and I really wanted to go. I'd contacted them and they had set aside an NPC for me, so Ambrogino Giovanni right here. So I was all set. And then it all went. They ran it really badly, it turns out. Which is a shame. But yeah, there are other big ones that go on though around the world when it comes to vampire. I don't know their names, but I know that everyone who does Mind's Eye Theatre and stuff like that, you can visit their games, their groups around Europe and around the world. In fact, so a friend of mine is starting up a big one in Southampton, but you could play it wherever you are in the world.
Okay, cool.
So, and you don't have to talk to people if you don't want to. That's what interested me the most.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's lots of stuff like that. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? And Vampire is one of those games that you'll just always play, and it's good fun. It's good fun. You can pick it up whenever.
Bug for it. Yeah, you just kind of get caught up in it. Oh, I
Yes.
think I could just maybe play that again. You know?
Yeah. Did you ever watch Jason Carl on YouTube do his LA by Night?
I've seen bits of it, but not like a full chunk. I've seen the beginning bit and then started watching that because they're quite big chunks. I always end up doing them and stuff anyway at the moment.
Yeah.
With the housemate. It's just like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Time to sit down and chunk through it. But, well, I'm in self-isolation, so why not?
Yes, yeah, that is very, very true. Yeah, so everyone is in isolation. So roleplay games to have gone through the roof. I think a lot of people are playing games at the moment, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so we'll move away from tabletop a little bit. So I'll keep on looking down, and you might see my mouse appearing on screens because I've got a little really technical notepad here that I've set up with a load of questions written on it. So we'll go for this. So in LARP, I think if we stick to Empire, because I think that's pretty much where I've advertised this video anyway. So it's only an Empire. I didn't really give myself enough time. I wasn't prepared at all. Best moment in LARP. Best and worst moment in LARP.
Okay. So my best moment in LARP was when I entered the field as my first Wintermark character, Chella, also Beaton. And Beaton, she's such a good girl, was ripped.
Yeah.
She first entered the field and she found the group of mages in Wintermark called the Saker, just a little known group. And they took her in really nicely, and I was very, very nervous at the time as well, because I left a group that I'd been with for years, just myself and another person, going to Wintermark on our own, just to try and make waves. And to be honest, it was really me that really wanted to be there, so I was like, I know I want to be here, I know I want to do this thing, I read the brief, I liked it, let's see how we do.
Yeah.
I went in as a Calabassi mystic with some levels of winter magic, and I was like, let's see what I can do. And considering I haven't actually spent any XP at that front since the beginning of the game, I went into Wintermark with the level 4 winter magic ritualist, just pure ritualist, and just start speaking to them. I didn't give them my full range of abilities straight away, like, oh, yes, I'm level 4 really. But I was like, I'm interested, but I do need help. Can you help? And they were like, oh, we're always interested in teaching.
Yeah.
And literally the next day, they were like, okay, you're going to get involved in a ritual now. And I was like, oh my god. The first ritual I ended up being involved in was a quickening the cold meat, which is raising an army of the undead and linking it to an army. It's the really, really powerful one in Winter Magic.
It's magic, it's straight over my head.
It's like 100 and something magnitude. 150.
I know that's big.
Yeah, it's a big boy. It was a heckin' big boy. And this is before it got interdicted or whatever by the fucking 10 of wizards that moan. And yeah, I loved it though. It was fantastic. And I'd I'd always been like scared of public speaking, and I still am. But I was there like, I'll give it a go, I'll do my best. And I went out there, and they just said, okay, this is a room, this will be your room, and it's Hermok, the room of Dominion. And you've just got to say some word, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I went in and started just going, Hermok, the room of Dominion, and just started shouting and just being really like funny, because I just got really egged up with the rest of the group. That was just like,
yeah, awesome.
They were all shouting and pointing, and it's a very powerful ritual. It just brings up energy, and I just caught onto them and I joined in, and it was like one of the first big thing I've ever done at Empire. My old character before then was a healer, and I'm not saying that healers don't do big things, they do, but my character just didn't, and that's why another reason I wanted to move away. I wanted to do more, and I ended up such a good time. That was my favourite moment.
Yeah.
It was a really good time.
Got a comment saying absolute unit of a ritual.
Oh, he's a chomp. Oh Lord, he coming. Great ritual.
Oh look, yeah. No, can't say that. But yeah, we'll go down badly. Yeah. But then again, when it comes to healers and stuff like that, as you've witnessed firsthand, I am a big fan of healers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I would have been dead if it wasn't for healers. Especially Beaky, especially my husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she saved me and told me off multiple times. Goes for yourself as well. So that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people talk about. I was looking through the new players thing on the Empire forums and that, and a lot of people were asking questions about magic. And they're saying like, how do you do it? How do you get involved in it? And things like that. So what advice would you have for any new people who wanted to know about the magic side of the game?
As much as I just said, 10 of mages who know, I really suggest going to Conclave. It's really boring the first night, but go in before it starts, have a look around, see if you can find a little group of people that might be in the same nation as yours.
Yeah.
Go to them and just say, hi, I just need some advice. I just want to understand this. I just need some help. And they'll give you some great information. If you're also struggling, there's loads of different people who can help you, including, actually, if you go to the school, the academy, they'll help you there as well. There's also, they're in Highguard now, there's the Faker there, they'll give you information and advice. Also there's, oh my god, there's so many people I can direct you to. There's too many. If you just enter the field, go to, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. You can either head to an egregore and ask them questions. If you go to Conclave and say, hey, I've just got some questions, someone is going to want to answer you, because people love to teach you, especially mages, they love to teach you. So go in, ask them, and if you're really, really into it, try asking them specifically, but so what's the biggest winter coven, or what's the biggest summer coven? Because if it's a big coven, chances are someone's going to be sat down doing nothing, or have slightly more time to give you some information.
Yeah.
Big covens always have like loads of people that they can defer you to, so if they're going to have people that you can go to, ask questions, get help. Just ask questions. Go to people, because most people I've ever met at LARP are happy to teach you, or happy to explain. They just like having someone to listen. I like having someone to listen when I'm giving them information and stuff. So just ask.
Excellent. Well, I think that's really good advice. It's something that everyone says, go to someone and ask a question. It's like the whole joke of, if you want to get in a conversation with someone, ask them about their backstory, because then you'll be sat with that person for the next 2 hours. So I did it with one of the new players who came along at Ashenhall. She's like 3 foot tall, and we were just talking about family and stuff like that, and Beaky came up in conversation. So as did Breck as well. So they came up in conversation, and then the people got involved in that conversation, and because they were asking about how, because you were regarded as one of the most powerful mages going, and they were asking how, and I mean I knew how you did it all. So it's like relaying literally that piece of advice almost verbatim to this person, and then they went off with it, and it's like, and that's coming from Mac. That's just no, and don't talk to him and ask him a question. It's just pointless. But yeah, it is literally the best piece of advice that anyone could give. So excellent. Okay, so worst moment or funniest moment, either or.
Okay, so
or both.
Worst, I'd say there was a time, and this is like an uncontrollable, unavoidable event that is no one person's fault. It's just a cacophony of fuck up. And the first thing I did was go monstering when I was tired and slightly hungover. I was this orc and running around like a headless chicken, chasing after the stupid humans. It didn't go great for the orcs. The humans were doing great. Well, I shouldn't say humans because I just use different languages. But the players were doing really, really good. And us orkies were not doing great. We were getting waffed and bashed in the face. We started doing a nice retreat. I turned around and I was like, oh shit. And I got downed. Because if I was walking away, I should have just kept looking where I was going. As soon as I turned around, I slowed down and I got hit by some hoons. I got down. Another orc was coming up the hill to where I was and didn't see me. And they fell over me and landed on my face. And I had to kind of roll with them as they were falling on me. But yeah, they ripped up my orc mask and everything because they were wearing loads of chains. And I'm really glad I rolled, because if I didn't, it would have really messed up my nose. But that scared the shit out of me. And I'm not a sizeless person, but he was a big guy, and I was quite small. And I was like, oh my god, shit. So yeah, luckily I rolled with it, but it was just an avoidable thing. Just bad luck.
Yeah.
But it was okay. It was fine. I cried a little bit because the shock shook me, and it did hurt. It really, really hurt along the top of my cheek there, where I think it bruised a bit.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, just an unavoidable thing. I think any other bad times that happened at LARP have always been things that are OC. I've never had anything icy other than a few deaths. I don't consider them bad OC. I consider them good because it's life, and also it's roleplay. It gives you a great roleplay when someone dies. More people die in roleplay, please. I want to cry.
Yeah. I mean, with that as an example, let's. How did you feel then when, obviously, because you've now got Breck and Shella are gone.
Mm-hmm.
You now have Fran and Fam.
Mm-hmm.
And you got one of the really lucky positions because you were dead. You were walking dead, and you got to come onto the field and see people. Even though your character was essentially terminal and your character was not coming back anymore, that was it. So how did you feel? How was that for you walking into the field?
It was nerve-wracking because obviously before I went into the field, I got ready, and Oh, actually, no. I was camping in the field, but technically before I stepped out of my tent in the field, I had to get ready, and that involved bruising myself up, flooding myself, making myself look a bit scary. And that at that point, I was like, oh wow, yeah, no, she's dead. And I know before going out into the field, I made that decision and did a lot of work around that. I put a lot of effort into killing her. So yeah, I knew it was daunting because it was a big character that I'd played for a few years and got really used to. Know for a fact that she has people in the field she can just go straight to if she wants to. All that jazz, and to know that I'm going in and getting rid of that and pressing the reset button was intimidating. I think also it was very liberating. I went in thinking, because Chella has a lot of stress. She was a stressed out lady, and the only time she got to relax was when she got pissed in these things. So to be able to go out and be like, I ain't gonna worry, I've just got to deal with just this bit, and then after that, I'm a new character that has significantly less to stress about. So in a way, it was quite relieving.
You had a lot of nice roleplay bits with people. Yeah. How did Seika take it when you turned up there?
They obviously asked how it happened, what happened, and after some explaining and talking, they just wanted to give the remainder of the Children of Winter something, because I was the leader of the Children of Winter, and they wanted to give the survivors, the children that were left without mum, they wanted to give them something. So they cut off my finger and gave them my finger that's been hallowed, so that if ever they were like in doubt of something, they could hold it and it would give them some gumption to know what to do, and something along the lines of that. And I think that was like really lovely. It was something great that the Seika could do, I could do, the Children of Winter could have. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it, how that sort of roleplay is always the best, but it's also the most exhausting. Isn't it? It's really strange. Really, really strange that. I know that for me, when it happened, and everyone, one of the Children of Winter came over to tell me, to tell Mac and Grim what had happened. You had that. It's really strange because we knew out of character, didn't we? You had told us out of character that you were dying. But then when it all came over, in character, it was completely weird. I remember that. Because you get that knot in your stomach still, and oh no, didn't like it. So anyway, I won't go on about me. Let's So, what's the funniest thing that's happened to you then in character?
Oh my god, a million different things. I think I have a glass of wine earlier today.
That's fine. I'm drinking my Christmas present at the moment. A wonderful bottle of Talisker Storm whiskey. So, yes, and it's only my second glass. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah, lovely from the table. Yeah. I think some of my funniest moments include, because the Children of Winter were quite vast at one point, really quite big. I had a lot of people I had to take care of and babysit. We were out in the battlefield, and one day I was walking around for what we call a danger picnic. And this is when Chella goes out into the field. I'm not a combat person. I'm just stood around pointing at things to look official and important. I'm just stood there, just looking around at different flanks which we're getting battered at. And the bit where the Children of Winter, I'm like, yeah, go over there, go right there, it'll be fine. But yeah, I'll just stand and watch from here. You're doing great, love. And then I just see Breck pulling another member of the Children of Winter, Bjorn, out from the fucking lines because he's got downed again for the seventh time that day. He's on the floor, he's thick stabbed by Breck, and I come over and lean over him, just with a look of, what the fuck have you done? And just, it was very good, and I think it might have been Oliver Facey. I'm pretty sure it's him that took a picture of that moment. And I adore that picture because I was so happy that got captured. I was like, oh, fantastic. So I was thinking, like, I have a beautiful, vivid picture of that wonderful, funny memory of looking down at the old, like, for fuck's sake. And Breck's there, stitching up, like, for fuck's sake. And Bjorn's was like, it was amazing. It was really good.
Because I put these onto my YouTube channel as well, so people can go, like Empire players and LARPers can go and look at them. I'll find that photo and I'll put it over so we can see that.
I have it saved, so I'll send it to you.
Fantastico.
It's hilarious.
But you told a lot of people off though.
Oh, I used to tell people off all the time, but I was mum. Like, that's my job.
It was very, very fun. Okay, so we've done all that. So when it came to your kit then, because obviously you're now on your third character, what do you look at for inspiration? How do you find inspiration for your kit?
So I read the brief to get an idea of the look and feel, and then after I got an idea of that, I go, all right, what films or what things have I seen that fit within this look and feel category? And with my first character, which was in Rouge, which is very Renaissance Italy, her name was Teodore Sanguedolce de Sarvos. Yeah, there we go. Very fancy name, very official. And she wore a black embroidered skirt, long and wiggly, and a red corset with a white off-the-shoulder blouse. And I wanted something like that because I thought of classic silhouettes as well as something cool, because if you go to like Venice, like Saros is quite a waterfront based place. It's warmer, it's not like Temeshwar where it's colder. It's like, oh, it's a bit warmer climate, so I'll need to wear something like off the shoulder, and although I am the league, so I'll have to just bling up with fudge tons of jewellery, which I did, and I just tried my best to think about the conditions my character would be living in, and also finding movies that were somewhat similar. I can't think of one stripped from my head. I did like watching the Borgias TV series.
Oh yeah.
And that was great ideas for costuming and stuff for specifically the league. They're really good for that. And then for Cella, I really looked into the look and feel, but then I just kind of drew from there. I didn't have many things that I looked back on other than just what Empire, the last itself, gave me in the wiki for look and feel. Then I just got a pencil and I drew, and it started off really basic. Really basic cinema, a really basic trim. And as a Calavesi, it didn't need to be extravagant and fancy.
No.
It's all really basic shit. And I was like, that's great, I can work with that. And then over the years, I bought things and just added them to it. So I bought a long dress instead of like a short one. I bought a nice waist cinching thing that also worked as a great belt, loads of different pockets. I love that one, it's utility. And then I added things like layers, and as soon as I started doing things like that, you slowly build up the character. And I actually have pictures of my character transitioning over the years, of going from really simple, basic outlines to developing into colours, adding textures, adding different shapes to things, and then layers. And I think if you don't have to go into the field for your first event, or even your first time as a character, looking fucking incredible, or like he's been LARPing for years, because I think that's too intimidating and a lot to put on, especially brand new players and new people to LARP.
Yeah.
It's way better to come in just as quite fresh, quite new, quite green, and just say, look, I'm building up. And you also find some really great stuff out in the field that you can see other people, other players, what the shops sell. You get ideas and then take it home, never make it yourself, or see what's on Etsy or wherever you can afford. Like, there's plenty of ways of going around it.
Yeah.
So I always like to nib inspiration from everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So, what about for your new one, or your latest? Or are you still in the process of trying to work it out?
I think I'm still in a growing process where I'm not completely in love with the character's costume yet. I think it's the underdress that's really bugging me. But otherwise, the other layers are doing okay. I had a lot of inspiration from a combination of Suak and Steiner, however you want to pronounce it. I had a bit of a mishmash between the two. So I quite like the shape and the cut of most of Suak clothes, but I am a Steiner. And my reasons behind having the double up is because mother and father were Mr. No and Mr. What. So it's a good way of trying to balance it. I didn't want anything that everybody else in the field had, because it did get to a point, I think, where I went into Winter Masters and I feel like everyone looks quite similar.
Yeah.
So we wanted to jazz it up, and I've not played a character that had played non-very dark colours. Like most of Theodora's colours were very dark. Apart from the white underblack, everything else was black and red.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I had Chella, and everything was black or deep brown. Like, or I had my summer dress, and that's a long grey one, and even that's like dark. So I was like, okay, this is what I can do with colours. And now I've gone for greens with browns and layers of just a big white underlayer to match it and bring it together. And it's a bit elven looking, really.
Yeah.
Like if you were to combine an elven look with maybe the Riders of Rohan or something like that, if you were to combine those two, I think you'd get a somewhat similar style from a character.
Yeah. Okay. So how did you come up with Beaky's? Beaky's
face. Right. So I was just about to go out in the field, and I was like, done my basic makeup, which was at the time just foundation and a bit of eyeshadow. And I was like, well, I want something different. I just want to like add something to it. So I got a bit of black makeup and a really wide brush. Really, it wasn't suitable for doing your face paint with it. It was like a paintbrush.
Right.
But I used it anyway. It's what I had at the time. And I just went across like that, and then across like that. I was like, a bit weird. Let's see what I can do. And I just kind of got it a bit wetter and then dragged it down. So I used to have this really thick black line, and it smudged, and it wasn't actually feathered at all at first. And then the next time I went to Empire, I was like, well, I'll see what this looks like. And then I started doing little bits, like it was a fine line, and then a little bit of feathering.
Yeah.
And I quite like the fact that over the years of me playing each other, it grew and got thicker. But also, depending on what I was doing in the day, the colour changed.
Yeah.
So I actually added bits of red into it when I was about to go into battle. If I was about to do a lot of winter magic, I'd add underlayers of white or silver or stuff like that. Maybe even blue usually. And then layer the black feathers on top.
Yeah.
And all that ever was black eyeliner and just a little tub that you could get eyeliner gel and some eyeshadow is all I had really. And I didn't have a lot of money, so I didn't want to have to go out and buy extra stuff or very expensive stuff. So I just used what I had left over, and that's what I had. It worked out okay.
Because it was definitely one of the most iconic bits of face paint that you would see in the field. That's a definite. It's when you look back, I think over all of the photos of everything of Empire, you see Beaky with the wingspan across her face, and that definitely iconic. Definitely stood out massively, and I think that's what a lot of players strive for, isn't it? Is they want to have that thing that makes them stand out more and stuff like that. So anyone will think, Beaky, yeah, oh yeah, the one, yeah, with that, because that's obviously where the nickname came from, and that. So yeah, so it looks.
A lot of new players are really, like, when I first started doing it, I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't confident in it, and I just did that first line, and then went, and smudged out, and went, and I just tried it, and I went with it. And even if for a day you just look a little bit different, maybe feel a bit dark, it can end up at the end being a big part of something you evolve into. You eventually get there and you get to the beaky feathers that, like, I really love.
Yeah. So what are some of the, when you look around the field, because obviously we're very Wintermark and Navarre centric and that at the moment. So when you look around the rest of the field, what would you say are some of the things that stand out the most to you for the rest of the game when it comes to costuming, kit, face paint, things like that people do?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, especially in cases like the League and Dawn, quite a considerable amount of people there put a lot of effort into their kit in, I would consider just a very extrovert way.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I want to look this kind of way, and I'll get it. And that's great, it's amazing, you've got that kind of sight into what you want and what you want to look like.
Yeah.
I don't think I could go there and go straight away and be like, oh, I'm confident what I want. Even when I went to the League, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
No.
So I think people that go out there and do those beautiful styles,
yeah,
they're hard to pull off. I tried, and it's good. It's impressive what people do. I also really love most of the attire to High Guard, not just because it's all black and gotham and gothy, but also because some of it is fantastic. The layers, the skirts, the coats, especially when they go out all clanking in armour. Oh, good. I think as well, Brass Coast always just if you see someone from the Brass Coast, you know they're from the Brass Coast. They're just in a little crazy silk league of their own. They're insane, and I love them.
Yeah.
But they're intense.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very much so. Okay. So, Empire's on the horizon. Obviously, Empire isn't on the horizon at the moment. How do you psych yourself up? How do you get yourself prepped mentally for going into that field?
I think before the last game is done. So, for example, on the last day, in the last hour, I know you get that real big lethargic feeling before you finish an event. And thinking, oh, I've got to pack everything, I've got to do this. But it's really handy, I think, if you reflect on what you have done for the whole weekend. A, it can make you feel like, oh shit, I did some stuff today. And B, it can be like, oh, this is what I've done, this is the weekend, that's good. You can reflect on the good things, even the bad and tough things. But it gives you a good moment to reflect on what's been happening.
Yeah.
And then when you go home, you can maybe write those down or just try and remember them. And then a bit before the next game starts up, I find it's a good idea to think, what did I do last game? What were the highlights? Play the highlight reel, and then you can think about it in your head, what you did, what happened, and then think, oh yeah, remember that fucking traitor, yeah, he did it wrong and messed it up, and he owes me 3 thrones, I'm gonna go muck him up now. And you can get yourself hyped up in that way, or you can maybe talk to friends. That's another great way to get hyped up, I think. Just communicate with people that are also involved with you.
Yeah.
Let's say, oh hey, so Empire's coming out. what rituals do we want to do? For example, you can get hyped that way, or you can be like, oh, did you take any new combat skills with your XP? Because I want to do this with my character. I think people get and give a lot of energy when discussing things, and that can be a massive effect on people.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a room full of people that are really, really sad and negative, it will break my mood and energy down. Whereas if I'm in a room full of people that are very happy and calm or welcoming and smiley, I'm always like, oh, this is nice. So if I go in somewhere and I'm like, oh, I'm in a room full of people that are enthused about the LARP and are excited to go, and we're just discussing with, just going really deep into the know-how of things, so like really going, oh, I just did this big ritual, I'm so happy and excited about it, or like I've got this one planned, or last game this person died and we're going to do a funeral for them. Just little exciting things like that, I think, can really make a big difference to some people.
Yeah. So, next event then, E1, is it going to be called still? I think it is, isn't it?
Well, it's the first event of the year, technically.
So E1.
Even though, yeah.
What are your plans for E1?
I think where my new character is still pretty fresh and she's not got any roots anywhere yet. I think I quite like it that way. It's quite chilled in the lap, just been a few years playing such characters that had so much to do all the time. It's been quite a relief just to go in and be a bit more chill.
Yeah.
I do think I will look forward to going in and just really taking in Empire around me. Because often you go in and you're just so busy. It's like, oh my god, I've got so much to do. I don't even have time to even go to each. I haven't even had time to go all the way to High Guard this event. I haven't even seen what the camp looked like this year, or I haven't been to Varushka to see the festival they're doing. You know, like to be able to do that, I think would be very enjoyable. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Just going around and taking in Empire as it is, as opposed to what is my next step. Just going in and being part of it.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really, really cool. It's nice and open as well, isn't it? I think that you can, when you turn up and stuff like that, I mean, you must get people coming up to you still, like older characters and things like that, but they know you as a player are involved with this, or this, and they say you know a lot about it, so people still must come up to you and go, so this winter stuff over here, what do you think about this?
Oh gosh, it does happen. So there's been lots of times where I've been sat at a campfire and someone's been talking about winter magic, and I'm just now like, don't talk, don't say anything, don't get involved. You don't know anything, you don't know shit, you're an idiot. Well, don't talk to him. And I have to just look in the corner of the room or just look at the campfire like, yep, that's a great fire, that's a great fire. I have to distract myself. So you really don't want to be like meta playing and being like, oh well, my old character was a really big wizard, so I know what I'm doing. Yeah. If it's OC, people ask me advice and stuff, I'm happy to get it. If it's OC and people are like, well, I was just thinking about taking this ritual, and I just don't know if it's going to fit my character, I can be like, what is it? Yeah. That's completely different. Whereas when we're in the field, I will try my best to play dumb. There'll be other things where if I've heard it, or if I knew that it was common knowledge as my previous character, that was rumours that were going around about and stuff that Chella specifically knew, then I would be fine with being like, well, actually, I heard that Conclave said this. But I would never say something I knew wasn't rumoured or common knowledge. No, you mean it's all metagaming, isn't it, at the end of the day? Yeah. That's cool. You do get people asking those questions, yeah. Oh yeah. I think you and Magic and me with military stuff and that, I avoided it for years because I was more interested in just fighting and drinking. And then obviously with Grim there, I get people coming up to me out of character now saying, so what drugs are you taking this event? That's what I get. Nothing about like the military side of it or anything like that. What drugs are you taking? All in character drugs.
But it's just
not real. Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. Twilight is amazing. So that's the sort of stuff that I get. So it's on a completely different level. You're up here with your being asked for stuff, and I'm so far down there. It's unreal. But it's good though that people do that because they recognise the experience. So I mean, when I advertised this, I said you are an experienced player because you are an experienced player. You're an E1er. You're a boomer. So
I'm a boomer. I get it. I'm a
yeah,
E1er.
well, but compared to me, you're still a young'un. Still a young'un.
Yeah, I get it. All right, then.
So, what advice would you have for people who they might be watching this and they're thinking, do I want to come to Empire? Do I not want to go to Empire? Or for people who've bought their tickets they're coming for the first time to E1, what advice would you give those people?
Okay, so this will depend on the person. If you are someone who is very comfortable going up to new people and asking them questions, or who know for a fact that you're extroverted and you're not shy and you're uninhibited, you've got no issue going up to people, you're going to do definitely just fine. Just go in, see if you can find new mates there. If you don't have any mates there, just go to the tavern, don't worry, you'll make them. You're going to be okay. If you're more introverted, and maybe if you're shyer, which I know quite a few people that do LARP tend to be as they start, I definitely will. And take a look at what things are available to the newcomers that Empire themselves do. They do the Empire beginners talk at the beginning of pretty much every event. So attend that, definitely. Because then you'll go there and you'll meet other new people, and you'll have people in the field that you can be like, oh, I remember that person from the new place. I'll go talk to them because they're also there and they might are on the same level basically. So I think that's great. Doing things like going up to if you're joining a group that's already quite solid, just go up to your friends, ask them questions. Really understandable, and your friends aren't going to be bothered if you ask them the same questions as the time, because it's hard to remember all the stuff when you first go in. So go in and just if you're really not sure on a character, if you're really nervous or don't quite know what to do, there's always the option of crewing, and that will really help you learn the game. The crew are fantastic, really lovely, wonderful people. So if you go in and crew, you'll still have a great time and get the evenings to go hang with your mates if you wanted to. And in the daytime, you get to see a bit of how the game works and have a good time around beating up people, or doing just chatty role play as a really cool character that Empire will make for you, PD will make for you, and give you. That can take up a lot of stress and pressure for a new person coming in.
Yeah.
Or if you're coming in either with a group of people who are also new, walk around together. Always go around together. Try not to walk off on your own. Because I think if you walk off on your own someplace, obviously you'll go to the toilet and then get to bed. But like if you're gonna go around, it's best to do it as a group. That you can walk in and just say, okay, I'm not afraid, I'm less afraid, I know I've got people with me that know my intentions, that are there to back me up with stuff, or they're that just are in a similar situation to you. If you have people with you that are in a similar situation, like going to the new people gatherings, going in with a group of mates that are also inexperienced, doing both those things can really lead you to feel like you're not alone. Because I can't imagine what it must be like now, as a brand new player, going into the field, seeing all these old players, or people that have been doing it for years, and going in and thinking, how do I break into all of this? How do I even tap into or chip into all this big chunks of the game? Whereas if you've got a little group of you, you can feel like, oh, it's not just me doing it, we're doing it, and that must feel better. I always think that, even if I'm just going for like a night out drinking with my mates, I know if I'm going with just a couple of mates, I'm a bit more like, oh, just like quite chat. Whereas if it's a group of us going out somewhere and we set up a table, we know that even if the people around us or if the pub or the club is not our vibe, we know that and ourselves, our friends, are going to have a good time because we're together.
Yeah.
So that's what I suggest. And if you are going in alone and you are a new player, go to the new players meet, and if that doesn't take your fancy, go to the tavern. Go to the tavern, have a drink, and chill out with some people.
I would say as well to, I don't know how to say that. It was Kanaki or someone's just said sup, so howdy. If you're a new player and you are nervous, if you identify as a female and you are nervous about going up to guys or anything like that, Helen is a wonderful person to talk to. She is very calm, very laid back, and she's a fountain of knowledge and will always help. That's from not just from my experience, but yeah, that's so. I think any new players there they can all come along and say hello and have a chat. And I think that's the good thing about LARP in general. Though to be honest, I think LARPers are all very approachable, aren't they? So you're all able to go up to anybody. But I think there are people who are more inclined to help than others, and there'll be other people who will be there and just say, "Ah, no, go and talk to them." So, okay, so this was a little bit out of left field, I think. If you could be in any world from any book or film, what would you be in and why?
Oh god, that's a tricky question, oh my god. Oh my god, you can't just throw that.
Well, I have. Consider it thrown.
Either the Terry Pratchett universe, because good stuff, or probably Italian movies, very well suited. I think if not Terry Pratchett, then completely 360, I'd like to be in the Fifth Element universe.
Multipass.
Because it's really deep in terms of all of it. Like, it's just got so much going on. It's got crazy history. It does have some kind of magic in a way, not quite magic, but like a lore. And yeah, obviously magic because it's a different element. But yeah, just really fantastic. Space is awesome. I'd love to be on a massive space cruise and go to sleep in like a weird tube thing, which you basically can do now in Japan. But basically, yeah, that would be fantastic. What about you? What would you do?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, boring, simple. Or Aliens, which is a weird one. I love everything to do with aliens. Aliens or Predator? I'm an Aliens man.
Oh my god. Okay, so the reason why I don't pick a more complicated universe, like either I say more complicated, Terry Pratchett's quite a complicated man, but it was lovely. It's because if I was in any other universe, I would die. Like I would die in Lord of the Rings. I don't know what I'm doing. I'd just die. Unless I was a hobbit, then I'd probably be fine. But then, and an alien, I'd definitely die. I'd be the first to go. I'd be the idiot that just doesn't know how to open a door to something properly, and then I'd just get squished. No. And also, no, because I played a little bit. I didn't even play, actually. Little Danny, aka Tiny Flaps, she was playing Alien Isolation in front of me.
Tiny Flaps!
Yeah, do you remember?
I remember!
Tiny Flaps. She, context for people watching. Okay, so she had this shawl on, and when she got excited, she'd flap the shawl like this, little tiny flap. So we called her Tiny Flap. Tiny Flap Flap. She's crazy. I love her, but she was playing like Alien Isolation in front of me, and I didn't have the controller, and I was there going, no, I'm done. Get me out.
That's fantastic.
Great, fantastic, but no thank you.
Kanaki again. Can't get any of my friends to even to play tabletop roleplay. Sadly, I have started a tabletop group, Isolation, for people in isolation. Funnily enough, and it's about 40 people in it now, and we are playing a lot of games, from D&D, Lord of the Rings, Aliens, Seventh Sea, Call of Cthulhu. I will put a link. Oh, and Werewolf, and I'm going to run a vampire. And I'll put a link somewhere, or if someone in the chat knows the group, they could put a link there. Join it, and then just say, I want to play this, or is anyone running this, or anything, and people will play. So that's what happens, and it's great. It is really, really good. I have a friend who plays, who was exactly the same with Alien Isolation. He played it for about 4 minutes, and then he couldn't play it. He didn't even see the alien. So you started, and he walked around, and it was so atmospheric he couldn't even do it. Then he played Resident Evil Biohazard. Have you played that?
Oh my god, that's such a good game. Laughing hell. Oh my god, so scary.
I love that game. I'll happily play it through, and there's no issues there. He plays it to a point where you see the dad walk along in the distance, just go,
oh, yeah.
like that, and then you look up the stairs, and he goes, nope, and then he turns it off. He can't play it anymore. He loves horrors as well. He loves horror films, but he can't play any horror games.
That's the thing. Horror games are fantastic, but because you have to control the next step, you have to go past that point of fear, just to be like, okay, I need to move forward. And that's the thing I really struggle with. Like, when it comes to horror games, if there's a really big, bad, horrible monster I need to fight, I'm fine if I'm in a fighting situation. But the build up to getting to there, like, oh, you have to sneak into that room, but don't get caught. Oh my god, I hate that. The mood and the ambiance and everything, like if they have that low tone in the background, look, immediately go.
So, are you sticking with Animal Crossing?
Oh yeah, I'm getting to you. I'm playing the life out of that. I have played a lot of horror games, but when your husband, my wife, my best friend Marie, when we played Resident Evil Biohazard together. Yeah. When we were playing it, she would run around and do the moody ambiance bit, and then when it got to the technical fight where we had to fight the bosses, that's where I jumped in because I played a lot of other different games where you have to fight bosses and beat them. So I'm pretty good at solving those kind of things. And even though some of the bosses like really terrified me, oh my god, it was really, really scary. I think if I'm at that point where I'm like, I know I can hit it and defeat it and fight it, if I'm in a situation where I have to run, I don't do very well. I can't think on my feet very good. I just don't do well. So I redo that bit and then I do the boss bit. Yeah. But Resident Evil was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. It's completely off the cuff and that, but have you played the Final Fantasy VII remake demo yet? The demo, I was there when Chris was saying. Love it. Cannot wait. Really cannot wait for that one. Good. So I think I'll probably watch him play it as opposed to play it myself. Yeah. Just because when I think Final Fantasy, I love the old ones where you have turn-based. Yeah. Oh yeah. I like that better than the current like you move around. And I know that's just a more normal way of fighting, but I love Final Fantasy for that different aspect. So I think I'll just stick to replaying the old ones up to 10-2 again. It was like playing Final Fantasy VII when I first played it. I was very, very young, 17 sort of age, 18 maybe.
I played it with my cousin, and we played it for 36 hours straight. It was bad. Spoilers, when Aerith died, if they haven't played it by now, then I don't care. So when Aerith dies, and I've actually got a T-shirt that says "Don't level Aerith" on it. So when she died, we reloaded it like 8 times because we thought we had done something wrong until we gave up. I was devastated when she died, but still. So when I've done these before with other people, the other Helen's mum came up with a question, and I've asked everyone this question. And it's a really good question, I think, and it's a very simple one as well. Why do you LARP?
I think it's that level of escapism, that ability just to really be that person or that character or that being that you weren't aware that you could be. So when I played my first character, even though in quite a few ways she was quite similar to me, she was also really different. So my vampire character from Dark Ages was a painter, and I can't paint. I can do like little bits, and it looks a bit like a middle schooler's art homework. It's okay. It's good, and get an A+, though. And yeah, I really love the idea of actually having a character that had that big creative outlet, but she was also really confident and very much able just to come up to anyone and be like, oh, good evening, how are you? And just have this big, bright discussion. And I've never really had that. I've always been quite introverted until you get to know me, and I'm very much me. As soon as I know you and feel uncomfortable, I'm like, oh, hey, it's me. But until I have to build up to that point.
Yeah.
So that takes me a while. But yeah, I think having that escape, that moment where you're not quite you, or you can accomplish something. Anyone can be a hero in roleplay, which I love. In real life, you can't always get that big thing, do your dream. Sometimes life gets in the way. Whereas in roleplay, you can do that thing. You can be the hero. You can be the villain if you want. You can do the big ritual. You can be the artist, and it's lovely.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot to thank LARP for. I mean, it helps massively with your mental health. I think that's a big thing. When it comes to mental health, being able to go into a field, pretend to be someone else, it helps massively. You escape from the real world. So you can be at home and really struggling, but you can know that you're going to be in a field for 4 or 5 days and none of it matters. And it's really, really good. You get to hang around. I mean, for me personally, I get to hang around with you, my husband, my fiance, Chris, Alex, Michael, Chris, other Chris, and that Alec, all the Ashen Hall lot, and stuff like that. I get to hang around with all of these wonderful people, sit down, talk, have a laugh, have a drink. When you come back from LARP, how do you feel? Do you feel like you could take on the world right now?
I feel usually pretty drained after LARP, because I do quite a bit when I'm there. So physically I'm always like, oh my god, completely. But then I always get that really lovely bit of rest mentally after. Of, I've just done something. When you've done something really good, you had a really great night out, and then the next day you're like, laugh at something great. I'm gonna laugh about that stupid joke so and so said all week. And it's like that, but tenfold. You just have that great feeling of being like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, oh god, I nearly died in battle, but oh gosh, so good. So you get that feeling of just I don't know what it is. It's quite comforting and restful at the same time. I
Yeah.
don't quite feel like yourself, where I feel like I can take on the world, but I definitely feel like the world's at ease. Like, oh yeah, everything's great. I've had a good time. Had a good night.
Yeah. Awesome. That's really cool. Well, that's it. I think, to be honest, you have been probably the most descriptive person I've ever spoken to on here. You've really, yeah. So we've not got, not too many questions to us. But what I will do is I will put this back on. I'll put this onto YouTube and stuff like that, and I'll put in the photos and stuff like that we talked about and things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it'd be quite good to probably do a talk. Ah, it's the mochi. Ah, hello. Oh, adorable. Yeah. Oh, she's been hovering around your feet, has she?
Yeah, she just come hovering.
Oh, adorable. My adorable little thing is through that door and not allowed to come out while I'm doing this. But I think what it could be good to do is to have a chat before an event and after as well, just so people can see and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, she's adorable.
She's good. She's a good little girl. She does a bit of a wizard. I was But yeah, I think it'll be good to have before and after conversations to see where the mind's at, where the energy's at, what we're thinking about, the thought process behind it, and then do another conversation. Well, thanks for grabbing you. Have another conversation afterwards of like, what did we get done? How do we feel now?
Yeah. Do you know, the funny thing will be as well is that you'll do the before chat and you'll be looking like this. Well, you'll be looking as clean as you and I'll be looking like this. And then we'll come back and it'll be looking tired and I will still be covered in half of my face paint because it's not been washed off properly. I will be looking exhausted. Well, everybody would be looking exhausted. And it would just be a case of, do you have like a routine that you follow when you get home from LARP as well?
Oh yeah, get in, have a shower, get some food in, sleep.
Mine's very similar. Get in, have a bath, take away, carry on drinking. Because I've always booked the next day off as well. That's my recovery day. So
I usually have the next day off as well. But as soon as I get in, I've usually had so much strength for the weekend. No, my poor liver, can you take it?
Takes a lot to keep me down. We'll have it's been a while since the four of us have done the staying up until we're seeing the sunrise, and we're still drinking, and we think we should probably go to bed. So we're still.
Well, it doesn't have what we used to at, what was it, about 2 a.m? About 2 a.m, Rhiannon would whack out the bloody coffee tequila.
Yeah, normally.
That would keep us going. That keeps me
going.
Oh, yeah. God, coffee tequila.
Yeah. And then we'd start, it would just... They were good nights, though. They were very, very good nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really good. Right. What we'll do, so we'll end the stream, say goodbye, and then we'll... Yeah. Okay. So, everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it. Those who've turned up, watched for 3 minutes and then left. Beard envy, that's what I call it. Obviously not mine. So, thank you for watching, everyone. I will put these onto YouTube. I'll do a little bit of editing and put in these photos that we talked about. And then, obviously, if I was prepared, I would have done it already, but I'm not prepared at all. So, but yeah, so thank you, everyone, for watching. and I'll put these on YouTube, and I'll post the link and everyone like that. So if you want to get involved in tabletop games as well, I'll put the link in the video too, and we'll go from there. I think I'll probably finish this entire video with a wonderful picture of Mochi just there, and then we'll end it. She's too cute, too cute. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'm going to try to roll these out a lot more again, so people can see them all. So okay, thank you very much, and thank you very much for doing this, Helen. I really appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah.
And thanks for having us.
Definitely. Thank you all, and bye bye. Mochi doesn't care.
No, she does not care.
No. Okay, bye bye.